Hey EV beginners, welcome to my new 2023 Volkswagen ID4 Pro all-wheel drive. Picked this up just a couple days ago and thought I would share with you the process that I went through to determine that this was the EV for me, so that you, as you go through your journey, can determine what the best EV is going to be for your lifestyle. So it's November of 2023, and about 2 years ago, I decided that I wanted an electric vehicle. Did not know where to start, so started watching podcasts, reading articles, and tried to get as much information as I could. The podcast that I really liked was Inside EVs, and now batteries included. Shout out to Kyle Connor, Tom Malogany, Dom, and Martin. Man, you guys rock, and I love that on my Friday mornings. It is just perfect. So I started off determining what were the EVs that were going to meet my needs. And full disclosure, everyone, I am not a rich man. So as much as I may like it, I was not going to be able to afford a $80,000 car or EV, $70,000, $60,000 EV, and really it was going to be the need to be below $50,000. I live in Ohio. I'm a normal dude. I have 2 kids in college, the normal expenses. So I was going to have something that met my needs financially, but that also performed at a level that I needed it to. And it was going to have to meet my minimum range requirements, right? I did not want a short range vehicle. So that was some of the thought processes as I started this journey to where I am today. Initially, I was looking at a number of EVs. I was looking at a Tesla Model Y, the Volkswagen ID4, Nissan Ariya, Ioniq 5, EV6, the 2 smaller Volvo EVs, BZ4X, and the Solterra. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos, you will know that I am 6 foot 8 inches tall. So of the ultimate importance to me is comfort, is fit. So my legs are going to have to be comfortable, and more than anything, I am going to have headroom. So with that in mind, I sat in every electric vehicle I could, all the ones I mentioned, and right off the bat, that knocked off the EV6, that knocked out the Solterra, and that knocked out the Volvos. Just a little bit too tight for my liking. Next was, I thought I was going to purchase an EV, right? I was thinking kind of the traditional method. I was going to put a down payment down, and then I was going to make the 5 years or 6 years of payments, and that was what was going to get me my electric vehicle. Well, as interest rates went up and costs went up, and the cars I was looking at, the EVs I was looking at, were really over $50,000. I realized that purchasing was probably not going to work for me. So that kind of led me into the leasing area, right? And I have never leased a vehicle in my life. So I investigated it, learned about it, pros and cons, of course. A lot of you more know that. You've probably leased all your life, or leased at least once, where I had not leased at all. So I was comfortable with the lease then. It was going to be a small down payment. I know everybody says make no down payment. I was okay making a small down payment and then having that monthly amount at the level I needed to be at. Now, as I went through that process, the lease also was attractive because I realize, and I think all of you on this video today watching this know that the EV industry is moving at the speed of light, right? Is moving so fast that 3 years from now, I don't know what's going to be available. You know, I know what the mileage now or the range is now. I know what the cost is now. I know what the batteries can do, the performance. But 3 years from now, I think it's going to be totally different. So that really kind of was the determining factor to go with a lease instead of a purchase. So I'm on a 3-year lease, 36 months. At the end of that, I'm going to be able to move into any of the new EVs that are coming out. Hopefully the ranges are going to be more, the charging is going to be faster, the price, hopefully there's going to have some more lower priced options available. So I'm kind of looking forward to the next 3 years with this vehicle, but then also what comes after that. So I'm not tied down to that long-term vehicle and the long-term battery, which I'm not sure anybody knows where that will be on the non-Teslas. So I narrowed it down to 2 vehicles that met my needs and I thought I could get into. So about 4 months ago, I started talking to some local dealers, and the first vehicle was the Nissan Ariya. The second vehicle was the Volkswagen ID.4. I went to both of them and I told them what I needed to be at, what I wanted to put down to get the vehicle, the all-wheel drive that would meet my needs. I like the styling of both. I think the Ariya brings a lot to the table. I think the insides, or feel the inside, the interior is beautiful, really just high class, high quality. Was really happy with it. But I had test drove the ID.4 a few times. I knew someone that had an ID.4, and just the styling also met my needs. It also appealed to me. So I really could go either way on those 2 vehicles. The Ariya dealer was really willing to work with me a little more on the price and some incentives, and they were really close to where I needed to be and what I told them I needed to be at, but just could not quite get there at the time. So that left the door open, and I talked to the Volkswagen dealer, and initially over the summer, they just were not budging. They said the price is the price, and there was like $1,000 bonus cash, but that was not going to get me close to where I needed to be on that monthly payment and that final out the door price, right? Thanks, CarEdge. Appreciate that. So just kind of kept communicating with the Nissan dealer. ID was kind of off to the side. The Volkswagen was off to the side. And in October, so about a month ago, we were super close. And eventually I told them, I said, if you can just get a few more dollars down, then let's go with it. Well, November 1st came around, and they contacted me and said, oh, sorry, some of the incentives have gone away. It's going to be a few more $1,000s more, and the monthly payment is going to be increased. Now, the inventory of Nissans was high at this dealer, of the Arias. And I'm thinking, you're trying to have me pay more when these have been sitting on your lot for whatever, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. So that was not going to happen. I reached out back to the Volkswagen dealer. I said, hey, I'd like to make this offer on this ID.4 that meets my needs. They immediately said, we can make that work. And the next day I was driving this ID home. So if you are talking to some dealers, trying to work out the details, I say just keep at it. Just keep at it. Keep your options open. Don't just don't stay on one. If you can, go to another dealer of the same type, and maybe they can make it happen. So at this point, I have driven this for 3 days. I love everything about it. It has a big battery in it. The range is 255 to 275. I know that, changes with weather and elevation and so on and so forth. But in Ohio right now, when I do 100% charge, it's about the 275 range before it takes into account the other considerations. So I'm looking forward to driving this, and I hope that you find the EV that you want that is going to meet your needs. This EV4, I'm going to go ahead and probably do a video in the next week or so after I've driven it a little bit and just kind of give you my observations, what I like about it, what I love about it, and just share some details from a new first-time EV owner as opposed to someone who's more experienced or maybe has driven in more high number of EVs. So look for that video out on my channel, and I think you will enjoy that. So with that, thanks for your time today, everybody, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.